Hi guys, it's Emily again, and I thought that I would do another geometry lesson that many of you in the upper elementary have had, and it's just going to be talking about why the circle is such a cool shape and why we could think about the circle as a special kind of polygon. So the first thing that I have is my largest circle inset, and then my tray of polygons from the pentagon to the decagon. And I'm going to do my best so that you can see how this works. I'm going to put my pentagon, sorry about that, into my circle. And what I want people to pay attention to are these segments that are created around here, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and I'm gonna sort of make a mental note of the size. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my hexagon, put that in. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they've gotten smaller. Go to my heptagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're getting smaller still. My octagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, getting smaller. My nonagon, and I'll try to hold this up so you can see it. What's happening? Where's this? Okay. I have 9, and they're getting smaller. And then my decagon, right? So I have 10. You can see what's happening. Now, we don't have in our tray a polygon with 100 sides or 1,000 sides, but I'd like you to imagine that. And I want you to sort of think about, we could consider the circle a polygon with an infinite number of sides. Now, people have known that the circle is an amazing shape, and they've been studying it for a long time, and I'll have some other stories to tell you, geometry stories. But one of the things that I wanted to show you today, or remind you today, is the special relationship between a circle's circumference and its diameter. So the diameter is the measurement across that goes through the center. So you might be able to find some circular things around your house to try this. Always get your parents' permission beforehand, of course. I don't want to get you or me in trouble. Let's just investigate what we can see here, though. So on this piece of paper, maybe I'll go over this with a marker here, so you can see it a little bit better. So I did it in pencil. Okay, I'm making a straight line, a straight angle. And I'm gonna make a mark on this line. And I'm gonna make a little mark on the edge of my circle. And at your house, you might just have to decide where you're gonna start. If you have chalk and you have permission to put chalk on whatever it is you're rolling out, go for it. But make sure that you have that permission beforehand. Otherwise, you might just have to use a little piece of tape to mark what you're gonna do, or think of a way to keep track that doesn't involve marking something up in your house. So remember that the circle is such a special shape that it has its own word. The perimeter of a circle is called its circumference, and review the diameter. And then from the center to the circumference, we call that the radius. So I'm going to line up this chalk mark that I've made on my circle. I don't know if you can see that, with this line here. And I'm gonna roll my circumference out and see what I can see. So this can be a little bit fiddly. Okay, so I'm gonna make a mark right there. And I'm going to see in my circle's circumference how many diameters there are. I'll line it up here, and I have to use my imagination that the line is going through the middle here. So I have 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more diameters. Let's try another circle. I'm gonna make another line. and pick a different circle. Make a mark on the circumference of my circle with chalk. Mark on my line. And I'm going to roll out this circumference and see how many diameters. So we have 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more diameters. Now, upper L, most of you guys have done this lesson with me, and that you already know that this relationship between a circle circumference and its diameter is so special that we have a special way of representing it. We use the symbol pi, right? And it's spelled, and for our purposes, we use the number 3 14/100ths. So pi is an expression of this special relationship between a circle circumference and its diameter. In every circle circumference, there are always 3 and a little bit more diameters, and we represent this number as pi. Now, if you are a 5th or 6th year who have had the lesson with me about how to calculate a circle circumference, you hopefully remember that circumference is diameter times pi, right? Sometimes represented just this way, diameter times pi. So you could think of some circular objects in your home environment, and you could calculate the circumference of those circles by using this formula of diameter times pi, where we're using 3.14 for pi. Before I go today, there's one other activity that I wanted to show you that's related to the circle being such an amazing shape. And look for some stories coming up soon too about when and how we started to use the symbol pi, and some mathematicians responsible for that. But I have an activity where you can make a circle with straight lines. So I apologize, this might not be the best view, but we'll do our best right here. So I'm going to do this on dark paper with a white pen, but you can do this on any color paper, and all you need is a straight edge of some kind. It doesn't have to be a ruler. And I'm going to make just here in the middle of my paper, if you'll be able to see that mark, a little plus sign, right? And that just helps me orient how I'm going to do this activity. So I'm going to also use the width of my ruler to help keep a consistent space as I go all the way around. So for me, so I don't lose track of where I am, I like to pick a number. So I'll pick the 4, and that line with the 4-inch mark is the part that I'm always going to have here at the vertex of where my 2 lines or my 2 angles are meeting. So, okay, so I've lined that up, and I'm going to make a straight line just like that. And I'm going to just tilt my ruler, taking care that my 4 is right there. I don't know if that's the best for you guys. I'm trying. I'm sorry if this is not. Slowly go around. Pull this off. What you will start to see is that these straight lines are starting to make a curve. And where you're going to want to be careful is when you have to switch. I'm going to speed this process up a little bit. It's not going to be a perfect circle, so you can see the different sides. This is a good activity. You could also try to experiment and see what other shapes you could make, depending on how you want it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my sheet, and you will keep going around this way until you'll stop and evaluate and take a look at what you created partway through the process. Try stopping at different points, but if you keep going all the way around and taking your time, you will end up making a circle with straight lines. So I'm going to stop there for today because I don't want to make you watch me do this for 20 minutes. And as I go back and look at some of this video, if I've been too speedy or we need to revisit something, we can. Feel free to watch a couple of times and send me a question if you have any, and I'll be back in touch with you really soon. Okay, bye-bye.